I am Rachel, and this is my crazy story of meeting a 6-year-old superhuman. So it all started when I went for the school picnic to the aquarium, and, to my utter shock, found my dad kissing another woman. Dad, what the hell? Once I reached home, I saw Mom crying. And, as if that wasn't enough, she also mentioned that we were broke.
Your dad ran away with all our money.
I got this, Mom. Be brave. I had to buckle up. So, the next day, I started my new job as a babysitter to a 6-year-old girl called Jessie. Her mother asked me to clean up the place and feed her. So I started to vacuum under the bed, but suddenly I saw the bed floating in the air. No way! Impossible! Jessie had lifted the bed with one hand.
This is easy peasy. Now clean up, cutie.
And just like that, she lifted the wardrobe, the sofa, and even their sports car. I was stunned. How come you were so strong, Jessie?
Shh, that's my secret.
I hugged her and promised to keep it a secret. I noticed there was something sad about her eyes. I don't know, but I felt like maybe Jessie was hiding something. Once I was done cleaning, I took Jessie out to play in her yard.
Do you want to see something even cooler?
Sure. She dragged me towards a secluded building in her yard that had so many locks on it.
See what I can do?
Jessie made all the locks rattle just by looking at them. Oh my! Looks like I'm inside a Marvel movie. But Jessie stopped the moment she heard the sound, and we both turned around.
Are you being paid to do this, babysitter?
So I immediately took Jessie inside. The moment we got inside, I asked Jessie who the man was, but Jessie remained mute all day. I had spent the previous night thinking about the strange man, and now all I wanted to do was sleep. The moment I sat in my chair, I could already tell that something was off. As I turned to my right, to saw Ronald. He was sitting beside me. He was a big bully.
Can you pass me the blue chemical?
I don't think we should use that yet. Ronald just grabbed the beaker and mixed the chemicals, which caused an explosion. And we were both given detention, and I hated that I had to miss my job for this. When the time for detention was up, I tried opening the door, but I discovered it did not budge.
You have weak arms. Let me try it.
Ronald tried tugging at the door, but it didn't budge either.
I guess we're stuck here until tomorrow.
I didn't want that, so I shouted for help at the top of my lungs, but no one heard me. Afternoon turned into night, and as I tried to make a bed for myself in the detention room, I heard loud footsteps approaching. Ronald and I clung to each other, afraid of what was behind the door.
I was the one that told everyone that you peed yourself in 4th grade.
It felt like a monster was coming to get us. So, I also decided to confess a secret. I don't think you were a terrible person, Ronald. Before I could embarrass myself further, the door swung open, and I was shocked to see Jessie. Jessie had been able to use her superhuman skills to know that I was in trouble, and I felt so grateful. The next day, I went to Jessie's house, and I was totally shocked by who I saw open the door. Dad? What are you doing here? My dad ignored me and pried Jessie from my hands.
Can't believe my daughter's turned into a kidnapper.
My dad's words stung like a bee, and before I could think of anything, he called the cops on me.
Young lady, you have been warned to leave this premises now.
I pushed back the tears when I heard Jessie's voice.
Please, Rachel, wait. They will hurt me if you leave.
Jessie pulled me aside and spoke to me in a fearful voice.
I'm in danger, and my father is planning to send me to the bad guys. Please believe me.
Suddenly, the police officer took me away from her and sent her back inside. That night, I found it difficult to sleep as I thought of what Jessie had said. I knew I couldn't sit back and watch something happen to her, and so I went back to her house. When I got there, I noticed the scary guard speaking to someone on the phone worriedly.
Boss, Jessie has escaped. Yes, I am looking for her. You better hurry up. I have to sell her to the scientist. He is paying us a fortune for using Jessie's superpowers.
But where the hell is Jessie? I had to find out. Suddenly, I saw Jessie lying unconscious in the bushes behind the house. I picked her up and took her to my house. Hey, Jessie, wake up! I splashed some water on her face, and she woke up. Jessie, you have to tell me what this man looks like. In no time, Jessie drew the sketch of the evil scientist who was after her, and I was shocked to learn that it matched the image of the famous scientist, Mr. Ruth. I took Jessie to the police to report the case.
Please submit the sketch. Jessie, you come with us. We will get your official complaint.
Saying that, the police officer took Jessie inside. She didn't come out even after 30 minutes, so I inquired about Jessie.
Who, Jessie? You didn't come with anyone.
You took Jessie inside with you, and now you're denying everything.
You are cuckoo. Absolutely nuts. Go see a shrink.
How is that even possible? Jessie was kidnapped, and the police were involved too? I was panicking and became hysterical with anger. But suddenly, someone grabbed me by my waist and pulled me away. Ronald, what the hell? I pushed him away, but he whispered in my ears.
I know where Jessie is. Come out right now.
I wonder if my story would also make it to Hear My Stories channel. Wouldn't it be so cool? Comment what type of stories you would like to see, and I'll pass on your message. Subscribe to Hear My Story now, guys. Do it!
Hey, psst. Focus. I need you to trust me before we go anywhere. Can you do that?
It sounded like the most difficult thing in the world, but I had to do it for Jessie.
Jessie is being kept in a secret facility in a lab, and I know this because my dad used to work there.
Are they really planning on selling her?
Yes, it looks that way. But we can get there before that happens.
I held on to the belief that we were on our way toward the secret facility. After a few minutes passed, our car stopped abruptly. We checked it out, and I was shocked to see that someone had put spikes on the road. Do you think they know we are coming?
Probably not us. I guess they just don't want to take any chances.
Ronald and I took the road through the woods to the facility. It was a scary experience as the trees looked like monsters. Did you hear that? I looked around for him, and when I didn't see him, I began to fear the worst. After a few seconds had passed, something grabbed my hand, and I screamed in fear. Ah! I turned around. It was Ronald.
Shh, someone is coming.
We both went silent as we saw a guard patrolling the woods with his torch. I could feel my heart hammer in my chest as he drew near to us. The guard passed us by, and I heaved a sigh of relief.
That was close.
The facility was a big place with high fences, and I became worried when I saw this. We can't rescue Jessie with these high fences.
Don't worry, I have a plan.
I watched as Ronald found an opening in the vent, and we both crawled inside together. I know I have not asked this before, but why are you doing this?
Your dad took everything my dad owned when he tried to expose them.
I am sorry about that. Ronald gave me a small, sad smile as he began to push open a small hole.
I'm going to go in first to see if it is safe.
The moment Ronald jumped into the room, the alarm went off.
Get out of here, Rachel! Go, go, go!
I crawled as fast as I could as the guards captured Ronald. I somehow made it to the facility's power room. I knew it wouldn't be long before I was caught, and when I saw all the wiring in the room, an idea came to mind. I tiptoed to the cables, ready to cut the power when I saw a scary guard point his torch at me.
It's you again.
I quickly cut the power before he could get to me, and as he tried to catch me, he missed his steps and hit his head on the wall and fell unconscious. I then took his keys and made my way and found the room where Ronald was held captive. I swiped the key, ready to enter the room, but before I could go any further, my vision became pitch black. What's going on?
Sorry, I thought you were a guard.
Ronald removed the bucket he had thrown over my head, and we both continued our search for Jessie.
Jessie, I need you to stop zapping everyone with your powers. What we are doing is actually good for you.
No, it's not. I want to go home.
This is your new home, so get used to it.
I watched as my dad pressed a button, and soon Jessie looked like she was in a lot of pain. It broke my heart to see her that way, and as I tried to reach for her, Ronald drew me back.
We will get her once he leaves.
The machines made Jessie go to sleep, and my dad inputted a security code into the door before he left the room.
We need that code to get inside.
I think I might have an idea of that code. Ronald stood watch as I inputted my dad's birthday into the door, and it opened. He loved his birthday, and so it wasn't so hard, really. I picked Jessie up and carried her on my back, ready to leave, when my leg got stuck in a metal trap.
I think I've seen something like this in movies before. I would suggest you stay very still.
Jessie's weight weighed heavily on my hands, and I found it difficult to stay still. What happens if I don't stay still?
Your legs could get chopped off.
I tried my best to stay still as Ronald inputted some codes into a machine. Soon, the metal trap let go of my leg, and I was tempted to break into a dance. The sound of the alarm came on the moment we were out of the facility. Jessie woke up at that point, and she was able to use her speed to get us in a safe place in record time.
I'm so glad you came for me.
I promise to always look out for you. Jessie and I hugged. I couldn't wait to go back home, and I asked Ronald to search for a taxi around the area for us. After a few minutes had passed, I expected him to come back with a taxi, but who I saw next had me shaking in fear.
Hi, Jessie.
My dad had captured Ronald, who looked terrified. Dad, please let him go.
I am no longer your dad, and you should let my daughter go.
Jesse hid behind my legs in fear.
Don't even think of using your powers on me, because if you do, I am going to make him pay.
My heart broke as I watched Jesse walk toward our dad. I wished there was something I could do, but I felt powerless.
It was nice doing business with you.
My dad was arrested the moment he stepped outside. And it was at that point that Ronald made me aware of the secret spy camera. He had recorded the whole event and sent it to the news channel where he worked.
Is Dad going to come back soon?
No, he wouldn't.
I guess I'll see you in school on Monday.
Yes, you will. Thanks for all your help.
I did this for my own selfish reasons, remember?
I found it cute that Ronald didn't want to admit he had done a good thing. I hugged him briefly before going home with Jesse. After the whole incident with my dad, Jesse's mom moved to Florida, and she granted my mom full custody of Jesse along with child support. I was now a big sister to a superhuman. And that's my story. Cleaning is so much fun with a superhero around. Psst! Want to be part of an exclusive club where the craziest stories come to life? Subscribe to hear my story, and you'll get VIP access to mind-bending stories that will leave you speechless. So, don't be a bystander, be an insider. Hit subscribe now. And after that, watch these other stories. Love ya!